we appreciate you coming today to our live webinar where we're going to talk about all things Red Team Go. So who are we on this call today from Red Team? Start off with some introductions. Myself, my name is Ben Wolf. I'm an enterprise account executive here at Red Team. I come from about 6 years experience in construction technology. I started off at Procore for 3.5 years, did 2 years at Bluebeam, and more recently been here at Red Team, and I'm loving every second of it. We also are joined by Cynthia Gill, who is our senior industry specialist here at Red Team. Cynthia comes from 10 years of construction experience, where at her previous employers, she was the person who would roll out Red Team and make sure that it was used efficiently at her company. So that's a little bit about us. I'd love to jump in and tell you a little bit about Red Team here and what makes us unique. So what makes us unique is we were actually built by a general contractor for general contractors to make their lives more efficient. We were founded by a gentleman named Michael Wright back in 2008. And flash forward to today, Michael's actually our chief strategy officer, and he does still work at his GC. So as you can imagine, we get really efficient, real-time feedback that helps keep our product best in class. So that's a little bit about Red Team. And we also specifically sell to general contractors. So I hope that you get that feeling as Cynthia goes through the demo today with us. I want to touch quickly on best-in-class integrations before I hand it over to Cynthia. With Red Team Go, we integrate with QuickBooks both online and desktop. So what that does is it allows you to flow financial information very quickly back and forth between the system and make you increasingly more efficient. Okay, with that, I will pass it to you, Cynthia. Cynthia's going to take us through Red Team Go, pull up the platform and show us around. So again, if you have any questions, please drop them in the Q&A and we'll be sure to address those throughout the presentation or even afterwards.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Ben. I am going to be showing you today Red Team Go. We have other software platforms under our umbrella. Red Team Go specifically is for commercial general contractors providing the design bid build method for delivering construction projects to their clients. We also have Red Team Flex, which we are not going to talk about today. That platform is for commercial general contractors as well that are doing work providing negotiated construction contracts and also some hard bid projects. This one in particular that we're going to go over today is Red Team Go. If you want to know more about the other platforms that we offer, please visit our website. This is the dashboard, what you first see when you log in to Red Team Go. We track lots of items in here. For example, all of the to-dos that are currently open company-wide. This is pretty useful because automatically Red Team Go is populating this list with things that need your attention. And if you have different employees in your company, you can also have visibility into the things that they have going on that they have to do. Maybe you can lend a hand. And also this overdue information card shows, again, the employees in your company that have items that are outstanding. We have the bid to contract rate, again, design bid build platform. Of course, we're going to have embedded in here all the jobs that you have sent out for bidding in your company and those that you've won so far. So the success rate amongst your project managers / estimators in here. To navigate from job to job, you can do so right here. And I'm going to take you through the scenic route. So right now we landed on our dashboard. The next item over here is projects. Everything that you're going to see today, you're going to see me navigating from module to module, project to project. Everything is part of the platform. The process that we have in this system is to take you from pre-construction through closeout. So when you receive a set of drawings or you download a set of drawings that you need to provide pricing on, you'll be able to create a job inside of Red Team and begin the process of bidding, going to a job site, meetings and putting together pricing for the client and then proceeding with the job in construction. So we have all of the tools in place to take you from point A to point B. In the projects landing page, we have the different statuses of the projects here that we have going on in the company. Every job in Red Team Go starts out in bidding status, meaning we have a set of drawings, we have to provide a proposal to the client for that set of drawings that we received. So all jobs start out in bidding. If you have a project that is very similar in scope, we have the ability here to duplicate a project. Um, Duplicating a project allows you to not spend so much time recreating the estimate, the proposal package, all of that. Of course, the project specific items will change. For example, the owner name possibly, of course, the set of drawings will change, but it'll save you a lot of time from having to recreate and start from scratch. If you are going to build a project from scratch, completely different scope, we have here the ability for you to just create a project. And if you notice, we want you to quickly begin using the platform. So you'll be able to enter the project name and some basic information on the job and then create the job. Some things that set RedTeam Go apart from other platforms out there is that we provide you with the ability to create estimate templates. Out of the box, we give you templates that you can begin using. And you can also build your own when you have the platform. We also provide you with the cost code set, 16 division CSI codes and 48. Feel free to use them, or you can bring your own cost codes into the platform instead of using the ones that we have defaulted in the platform. Aside from that, we create the project. I'm going to go ahead and dive right into a project in bidding status. This is the first stage of the job. Every job has a dashboard. It's very intuitive. It changes slightly depending on the status of the project. Right now, we're tracking in here the bid invitations that we've sent out, when we need to provide pricing by to the owner, when subcontractor bids are due. All of the jobs have the ability for you to assign tasks amongst your team. So, for example, if you have an estimating coordinator and you want them to follow up on all of the subcontractors that you've invited to bid across all of your projects, you can assign a task and they'll be able to see that right when they get to the office on their dashboard. In the plan room, we have addenda for the project, drawings, photos, specifications, navigating into the drawing side of things. And here you can have multiple drawing sets. All of the drawing sets that you upload inside of this console, they're available to bidders bidding on your project. I'm going to show you what they see later. But keep in mind, in this area, you can upload a set of drawings, and we have OCR, which means that we will read the drawing page and name the drawing for you, allocate the drawing number to save you some time there. We also have markups that you can utilize in overlaying of pages. So if you receive an addendum from your client, you're able to overlay the drawing and detect any differences to account for that on your bid. Here we have photos. You can save different albums in here, add photos, and then, of course, specifications. That's the plan one. Now I'm going to go ahead and navigate to bidding. In the bidding stage, we have worksheet, which AKA you may refer to as your estimate. If you select a estimate template, RedTeam Go will automatically load all of the cost codes that you have on your template, any pricing that you've saved on the cost codes. Of course, every job is slightly different, even if they're very similar in scope. So you are able to remove and add cost codes, set the markups for the entire project in here. Very, very quickly, you can review here all of the pricing that you have. As you are receiving bids from your subcontractors for the different scopes, you will be able to see them here on this gavel icon, and you can compare them. So here we see that we've received quotes from 4 bidders so far. We've invited quite a few, but only 4 that we've received. And say I want to go with the lowest bidder. Here we see that they provided this bid is very far off from the other ones. So you can do a budget adjustment or more so contingency amount. So for example, here I'm adding $15,000 to this bid that I've received. So in my estimate to the owner, I'm going to allocate $135,000 for this cost code. Meanwhile, RedTeam Go will auto create a subcontract for $120,000. What do the subcontractors see when you invite them to bid? They will receive an email from your company. It's going to come from RedTeam Go, and they'll be able to click on a link that offers them this view. In this view, they can upload their quote without needing to log in. They'll be able to see this page, upload their quote, enter their bid amount, see any notes that you've added into the cost code, anything that you need them to pay attention to. They can break down their bid based on the assemblies that you've added to this cost code here. They'll be required to acknowledge addendums. They can see drawings, specifications, photos, all the things that we saw in the plan room earlier, they have access to in here prior to just submitting the bid. Okay. Now I am going to go ahead and navigate into the invitations to bid page. This is where we invite subcontractors. And actually, before I touch on this page, I just want to point out on the worksheet, you are able to separate your bid by alternates. You can add, you can separate it by units in here, by faces. So you have a lot of functionality here for developing your estimate to the client. In this page, RedTeam Go will automatically add all of the subcontractors in your database that fit the criteria of the project. So to explain what I mean by that, if you add all of these cost codes into your estimate, RedTeam Go will automatically add those cost codes into this page and say, okay, all of the subs that you have on your database, they are able to provide services in these categories. So if I expand any of these, we'll be able to see all of the subcontractors that RedTeam Go said, yeah, let's add them so that we can facilitate you just being able to click a button here and send those bid invitations out to the subcontractors. From this list, you are able to remove any subcontractors that you don't want RedTeam Go to invite. But aside from that, it's pretty defaulted and pretty easy for you to just be able to send these out. Any questions, Ben, so far on the chat?
Not yet.
Okay, sounds good. Cool deal. All right.
Oh
We
wait,
have
Cynthia, we
Mhm.
did just have one come in. Sorry. Someone asked, we'd want to be able to create a list of our favorite subcontractors to invite on the projects. Can we do that?
Yes, you can actually. Good question. You are able to create templates of the subcontractors that you always want to invite. A lot of times, estimators have their own like list of subcontractors that they will always want to invite, their favorites. So yes, you can replace this entire list with a click of a button with your favorite list of subcontractors, and you can have multiple lists in here.
Okay,
You can also
perfect.
use a list from another estimator in your company. So Ben, if you're an estimator, I'm an estimator, I have my list, you have your list. I can say I want to use Ben's list today. So you can do that as well.
Okay, perfect. So it sounds like you could do it by like job type and
Yeah.
things like that. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Good question. Okay, so here we have the bid invitation responses, and we'll be able to see all of the bidders that we've invited, which ones have said yes, maybe no. We can filter by the yeses, the nos, the maybes. If the subcontractors aren't very tech savvy, we have the ability here to respond on their behalf. I'm going to click on a subcontractor that I invited to bid on a lot of different cost codes. So right here, we can see that the invitation went out for him to bid on all of these. This is that subcontractor that we always have that can do work in various scopes there. And sometimes they subcontract out some of the work that they're not licensed to do. But either way, they're always providing me a very competitive quote. So here they provided that. I can view, I can see here that they did not provide me with pricing for the alternates that I sent to them. So I can call them on the phone and say, hey, can you give me pricing on these things? I can add subcontractor comments on their behalf at their attached quote, all of these things. And we can also print lists like a bidders list so we can see all the phone numbers in there and make phone calls and add notes inside of the software. Okay, so navigating into the scope of work area, you are able to develop the scope of work for the project simply by typing notes on the worksheet, on your estimate. Next to the cost codes, you are able to type in notes. Those automatically get added into this area, but you have the ability to also add notes or revise those notes in here. Essentially, what you're doing is you're creating the scope of work. RedTeam Go realizes that it will add that scope of work into your proposal package to the owner. In this section that I navigated to, we see a sample subcontract or a sample client proposal package. You can configure your package to look very different than mine. This one happens to have a cover sheet, a letter. I wanted to include my estimate here, my breakdown. You on a hard bid project, sometimes you want to open up the general conditions and show your breakdown, and then you want to collapse all of your trade numbers, how you came up with those numbers for your different divisions. You can totally do that in here, and Red Team Go will create this package automatically for you so that you can review everything, insert any pages that you want to, and then send the email out from here to your client. With hard bid projects, sometimes clients will ask you to print it, hard copies, and seal it in an envelope, and then send it to the client's address by a certain time, by a certain date. So you can do that as well. So you have both options here, emailing it or printing it and sending it to your client via expedited mail. Okay. In the bidding stage, we have the ability to create RFI, submittals, meetings. We're just going to quickly navigate into this area. This is available for you to use also in construction stage. Things that you cannot do in bidding status include sending out subcontract agreements. We want to make sure that you receive an owner contract before you send out those subcontracts. Also, change orders, we can't do those yet. Billing, closeouts, later when the job gets promoted into in progress, meaning you receive a contract for the work, you can do those items. In the RFI section, very simple form. Actually, let me click on one that's
Hey,
editable.
Cynthia,
Mhm.
can I cut in just for a second here? We did have
Yeah.
another question about the proposals, the owner proposals.
Yeah,
Is there a limit to like the number of templates you can create or the way that you can manipulate those?
good question. There is not a limit. You can
Okay,
build as many, yeah, as you want to.
fantastic.
Yeah, good question. In the RFI template, very simple. It's essentially grabbing all of the information that you need to include on an RFI. We don't require a lot of things, but we do make the fields available so that you can track as much as you need to track on this RFI. If it's cost, if it affects the cost, if it's a bidding RFI or not, or if it's an RFI in progress, you can build a distribution list and attach any items you need to, and then save and submit that RFI. You could also commence an RFI from a drawing markup. Architects, engineers, they don't have to log into the platform to respond to the RFIs. They will receive an email with a link. They can click on that link. We call that a magic link, and they can respond to that RFI without having to log in. However, we do have a portal that they can use to log in. Vendors, engineers, architects, owners, they all have their own portals for the project that you can allow access to, and they'll be able to see this portal in here with varying permissions for those roles that I just mentioned. And they can do things like create their own RFIs, send you pay applications, all the things. Submittals work very similar. The forms that here to create a submittal captures all of this information here. We do have a ball and court that you can assign, so you can develop that and also capture when you need the materials on site by the long lead items you can capture in here. Distribution list, and again, you can save and submit that, and the ball and court will activate. It'll go from person to person to person. You can have more than one person also be the reviewer, for example, or two people be the approver. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my projects list. Again, we're taking the scenic route, and I'm going to go into a project that is in pending status. In the pending status, that means that we've sent a proposal to the client. We are waiting to hear back if whether or not we want the job. And setting the projects in pending status allows you to see all of the projects that you have waiting on your pipeline, let's say. So it'll build your pipeline for you by having this status active. In this stage, let's say we heard back from the client, they want to move forward with our price proposal. Here, RedTeam Go allows you to build as many templates as you want to for your owner contract. You can have different templates for specific types of projects, or maybe there's a client that requires specific terms and conditions. You can create those and send those out for signature. On a hard bid project, sometimes the owner wants you to sign their contract. That's okay as well. You can just save the contract in here that they have you sign. Otherwise, build your templates unlimited. We never charge you for building these. If you have an AI subscription, an annual subscription, we can actually activate AI style owner contracts and subcontracts in here.
Hey, Cynthia,
Mhm.
that's really cool about the AIA stuff. Where do you actually build out those templates? Would it be done in this area here, or where is that done?
Good question. That's actually in your configuration. So you can set up permissions so that only your admin is able to configure different templates that your company can utilize. So, for example, if you have a new project manager joining your organization, you don't necessarily need them to have access to editing the language of the owner contract. However, the project manager can still edit the scope of work of the contract template, who the architect may be before sending this out for electronic signature. Does that answer that
Perfect.
question?
Yeah, that's perfect. So basically, the admin can configure those, and then they'll show up here for the PM
Yeah.
to choose from
Yeah.
without them being able to manipulate and mess things up. If
Right. Exactly. Yep. We do offer complimentary electronic signature for the clients, for your subcontractors, and for you on your owner pay applications and lien releases. And I'll show you that in a minute. I'm going back to the dashboard. Actually, let me go into my projects page. I'm gonna now navigate to a job in progress and show you some of the things we have going on there. Okay. Um, Navigating to a project in progress, we can track now a lot of things in this stage. We have a dashboard again where we track things that are important at this stage. Again, we can assign to-dos. We have our contacts here for everyone on the team. We do have a mobile app. I didn't say that before, but superintendents are able to use their phones or tablets to record daily reports, and track a lot of things, submit expenses, submit timesheets from the mobile app. We are not able to edit the bidding anymore because we've received the contract for that bid that we submitted the client. So we have now a budget that we can utilize. We also have a job cost report where you can see all of the costs that you're incurring for the project in here by cost code. Ben said earlier that we do have integrations with QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop, so we would be more than happy to meet with you about those integrations and how those work together. In the subcontract page, we auto generate all of the subcontract agreements for your subcontractors actually. So when you select them in the bidding stage, RedTeam Go says, okay, project manager, which template would you like to use out of your database to create these subcontracts? Once you select that subcontract template, we will auto create this whole document with um, the project specific information, scope of work in here. You are able to edit these subcontracts before they go out. So for example, I've already submitted these for signature, but let's say I click on one that has yet to be signed or yet to be sent to the subcontractor. Here, the PM can edit any of the items of this section. So unlike the owner contract, this is scope specific. So the project manager can be very detailed on the scope of work here for the subcontractor and edit any of these things before locking it and sending it back to the subcontractor. It takes me about 6 minutes to put together 12 subcontracts, so a lot of time savings here. We have RFIs, we have submittals in here, meetings that you can capture. In the meetings, by default, we have 4 different types of meetings, but you can build other ones if you wish. Attach items to those agendas before you send them out. Change orders that we capture here as well. They include owner change orders as well as internal change orders in order for you to track internal budget adjustments. Okay, so daily activity here, we manage daily reports. You can create daily reports and track those from the job site as they are coming in from your superintendents. You are able to view them in here and also add any commentary before you formalize it and possibly send it to your clients. Sometimes GCs like to share daily reports with their clients, so definitely you can do that in here.
Hey, Cynthia, on
Mhm.
daily reports, do we have any ability to like copy a daily report from a previous day if it's similar?
Yes, good question. So yes, we have the ability to bring over a lot of the items, scope related items from a previous day, so that way the superintendent doesn't have to like type out the information again over and over again. Good question. Yep. And these are sent to the project managers daily for them to review and sign. We have a schedule. In the schedule area, you can build different templates in here that you can utilize. Automatically, as you are issuing out subcontracts for the different cost codes, RedTeam Go will let you know who the contact is at that company for that specific scope. And you have also the ability to automatically send notifications out to subcontractors when there is a change in the schedule.
So Cynthia, wait, this is an in-platform schedule creation. You can create the schedule from scratch in here.
Yeah, so you are able to create the schedule from scratch. You don't need another scheduling software to be able to create a schedule in here. So yes, good question. Also, subcontractors in their vendor portal, they can have access to that schedule. So great.
And that
Yep,
updates in real time, like if there's
on real time.
okay, great.
Yep, yep. In the billing section, we have owner pay applications. Uh, and really cool thing about this owner pay app is that, well, first of all, we have different templates for owner payouts. We have cost plus templates, a GMP type of templates. Also, you can build the schedule of values of your pay application or have it be brought over from your estimate. You have so many options for creating your schedule of values. And the really neat thing about RedTeam Go is that it'll alert you when you go to the pay application creation page, it'll say, well, Ben, you have all of these expenses, timesheets, subcontract billings, AP billing invoices that you've approved for this billing period. Would you like to add them to your pay application? You can either say yes or no, but very nice that it actually shows you that in here. I typically say no because I want to bill by percentage of completion, but you have the option. And as you are putting together your pay application, RedTeam Go will auto-generate this AI style pay app for you, depending on the template that you choose. And we also auto create a lien waiver. It has wording for unconditional, inconditional. So you'll be able to say, view this lien waiver, sign it, notarize it before you send it on to the client. Project documents in here that you can save for all of these items. You could also allow your superintendents on the job site to have access to some of these folders from the app. Super, super useful because if you want to save permits in here, also subcontractor commitments, and you want them to see the wording of that subcontract, you can have them be visible on the job site.
Hey, Cynthia, quick question on those on the project documents. Do those automatically funnel or do you choose, which change orders you want to put in there or which purchase orders you want to include in the project documents?
Great question. So they will automatically funnel to the folder. When you create a change order for owner, subcontractor, that automatically will be shown on the folder. So you don't have to actually spend time saving it.
Okay,
Yep, good
perfect.
question. Okay, closeout documents. We have punch list items, substantial completion letter, and this substantial completion letter here is default in your company's database. And so you'll be able to fill this out at the end of the job, sign it, and send it on to the architect when you complete the project. We also have warranty letters for all of your subcontractors. And great news, you don't have to create these from scratch. RedTeam Go will say, okay, well, you have all of these subcontracts that you've added into the system. We're going to go ahead and create all of these warranty letters for you. So you can just print these out or email them to the contractor so that they can sign and send it back to you. Okay. Last but not least, we have reports, and any of these reports can be added to your meeting minutes, agendas. They can be viewable by the project management team in your office. So all of these are available by default inside of the system. Okay, so that is the high-level overview of RedTeam Go. Ben, any questions or anything else that I missed?
No, no questions other than the ones I was asking you throughout. So thanks for answering those. And on the reports tab, I do love how clean that looks, right? Where you click reports and it just brings up all the different ones under the different areas.
Yeah.
That's a really clean way to do it. So thanks for showing that. Okay, let me share my screen here. Well, thank you, Cynthia. That was an amazing demo. Really appreciate it. If you all have any questions, if you want to book a meeting with us and learn more about Red Team Go, please feel free to do so through this QR code. We'd love to discuss, your particular company and your needs. So please don't hesitate. Also, additionally, we have our YouTube channel here on the right. We upload all of these videos to our YouTube channel. So if you want to see another demo that Cynthia and I have done on Red Team Flex, for example, feel free to pop over to the YouTube channel. All right. Well, once again, thanks everybody for taking a little bit of your Friday to join us. We really do appreciate it and hope you have a lovely weekend. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.